another unvoiced consonant, f for frog or anything else that they can possibly think of. G for girl, g for gas. Examples. Another unvoiced consonant, make a note of that. No voice in j for jam. No, at some point there are other sounds that make the j sound, and we will encounter those. K, another unvoiced consonant, and as you teach all the phonemes that represent k, I will draw your attention to what they are on the phoneme map, so that when you look at the deck, you will see that k for cat, comma, k for king. Eventually, child will learn k for black, and eventually k for plaque, and eventually k for chemistry or school. Oh, not L, not L. Oh, put your tongue underneath your two front teeth and voice. Oh, for lemon. Oh, for lice. For mom. How do we explain the difference? Some kids will really struggle between and n. You put your tongue behind your two front teeth and push voice. You purse your lips and you articulate and put voice. Kwa looks like KW, and it's an important sound. If you were teaching the children the sound in the Remediation Plus early language curriculum, I teach the children that the Q never goes anywhere without his best friend, U. Certainly, as you have your letters up around the circle of your primary classroom, you may not have Qua, but I recommend that you buy a little card pack from Remediation Plus with all the lowercase letters, or that you seek out and find, when you shop, something that represents the QU sound for queen. That's what the kids will give you, qua for queen, but what works very well is qua for quit and qua for quest, a word that is used frequently in video games. R is so difficult for children, and mainly because so many programs teach it as And of course, here are the phonemes that represent just to show you that the letter R is R. R for run, R for rest, and it's very hard to articulate. You may want to get some tips from the speech path if the child is really having a hard time. And I have some other things where I join the 5 modalities for teaching and get the support of the writing of the grapheme and the articulation simultaneously that supports the difficulty in hearing this and building the picture in my brain of what it represents. So I've got the rice tray over there, and I'll bring it out at the end of the teaching of the phonemes. So on the phoneme map, which is at the beginning of the phoneme deck, you will see the following. R for write a story. So eventually, you will be showing them that this sound can be represented in 2 ways. Now here are the phonemes that represent the I always have to deal with this when I go and do live training, so I thought I'd bring it to your attention on the DVD as well. Here are the sounds. Okay, there's 5 of them. For her dad is coming. For I came first. For fur coat. For I need to learn to earn money. And for color. And for flavor. And for humor at the end of a word. If I am teaching my Canadian teachers, this is a British writing, and it will look like this. For flavor, color, and humor. S for snake, another unvoiced consonant. You will see in the phoneme deck that like for fluff, which is doubled but only is making one sound, because the fizzle rule tells us that in a short word with one short vowel, right before the sound f, s, z, or l, I double. So this can be represented by s for snake, and at the end of a word, like the word pass, the phoneme card will show you s for pass the salt. And of course there are several other ways of writing s, hearing it and then writing it. T is an unvoiced consonant. T for temple. You vibrate on the bottom lip with your 2 front teeth. V for violin. W is impossible. We must schwa, as much as we don't like to do it. It's w for west. W for wagon.